There is a legend connected with the making of the 10 Commandments. A legend. It was said that when God invited Moses to come up Mount Sinai to receive the 10 Commandments, that Moses went up there and stayed for too long. And the people of Israel became frustrated and tired of waiting for him. Eventually, after a lengthy time, Moses started coming down with the law. When Moses was coming down, the people of Israel only they gathered at the foot of the mountain waiting for Moses. When they saw him, they heaved a sigh of relief and said, Moses, what kept you so long? We've been waiting for you. Moses came down and they looked at Moses' face. His face was a mixture of gloom and happiness. And they were like, Moses, you seem a bit happy and a bit sad. What is the problem? Moses told them, well, I have 2 news for you. One is good news, another one is bad news. They say good news and bad news. Hey, please give us the good news first. Because if you give us the bad news, we may die of fear. Give us the good news first, so you can calm us down. Moses told them, well, when I was with God, God wanted to give me 1,000 commandments. They say Jesus Christ. 1,000 commandments. How did we offend this God? How can he give us 1,000 commandments? So we're not even going to move around. 1,000 commandments is too much now. And Moses told them, that was what kept me so long there. I kept dialoguing with him, telling him that this 1,000 commandment is so much. And then at the end of the day, I was able to prevail on him. And he reduced it to 10 commandments. They say, only 10. Moses told them, yes. They started dancing. I said, thank God. They started dancing. I said, yes, 10 is manageable. How can he give us 1,000 commandments? And Moses told them, now the bad news. I said, what is the bad news then? Moses told them, the bad news is that adultery is still in the 10 commandments. Adultery. That means we are no longer free to take any woman, any man, and go and have fun with the person, go and stay with the person. Moses told them, that is it. Hey, they got angry and mad. What did God see in adultery? Is it his wife that we are sleeping with or his daughter? What did he see in adultery that he will still put it here? Moses, please go back to God. Tell him, let him remove adultery for us. Once he removes adultery from these rules and regulations, we will be okay. Others, he can even put any other one he wants to put. Let him remove adultery. Moses said, okay, let me go to God. Moses went to God and said, God, my people said they are comfortable with all the laws, but that adultery, they say you should remove it for them. And God said, are you sure that's what they want? Moses told God, yes, that is what my people want. God took his golden pen and then took the tablet of stone from Moses and then ruled on adultery and told Moses, now people are free to sleep with any woman they want. As Moses was coming down to tell the people that God has granted their wish, to Moses' surprise and chagrin, he saw the people rushing towards the mountain, telling Moses, please go back to God. Tell him to add that adultery back and even put more. Moses said, what is the problem? Moses, I don't see what is happening. This man has carried my mother another way. This one has carried my wife another way. This one even took my 2-year-old daughter and ran to the bush. Moses, please ask God to put it back. Moses, please. People just take anybody's daughter and run away. And Moses went back to God and said, God, please, they say you should put back the adultery. That there is confusion everywhere. People are sleeping with people's mother, taking people's daughter. Even 2-year-old kids are now not safe. And God said, what would I do for these people? It's okay. God took his golden pen again and rewrote adultery upon the commandment. Moses came down and told them, God has done it. They said, thank God. Now, if anybody commits adultery, the Mosaic law requires us to stone that person to death. So adultery is now a law. Nobody is free. And they told Moses, well, we don't even know that we still have theft. Do not steal in the commandment. Please tell God. Some people are so wealthy that others are too poor. At least we need to be collecting small from them. Tell God to remove theft, stealing from the 10 commandments. Moses went back to God again to dialogue with God and told God, my people say that the poor people cannot survive if you don't create freedom for them to take whatever they need. So they want you to remove that theft. And God took his golden pen and canceled do not steal and said people are now free to steal. As Moses was coming down, before the Moses could get to the middle of the mountain, people were throwing him stone, telling him to go back. Moses, if you come down here, we are going to kill you. Go back and tell God to add all the punishment in this world for crime. They said, Moses, what is the problem? Moses said, what is the problem? Moses, I just tied my horse to go and urinate. I came back, somebody has corrected it. Somebody has corrected my horse. I said, another person said, I just left my food on fire to go in and get Maggie. They have carried my food and ran away. Another person said, Moses, do you know the worst? As we were climbing this mountain, I left my footwear. Comment that I didn't see it again. Please ask God to put it back. And Moses went back and told God, please put it back. God put it back. Now, as Moses came down again and called and said, which other one will you want us to remove? Remove what? Please go back and tell God to make this law 1,000 commandments, no longer 10. Go back. It was then that they discovered that laws are meant to protect, not to limit our freedom. So imagine a situation in this school where somebody in SS3 can rise up and get somebody in JS1 and smash him on the ground. And he goes to sister principal's office and sister will say, congratulations, my boy. And open the fridge and give the boy a chilled malt. Eh? Imagine, will you remain in this school? Eh? Will you remain in this school? So, I don't want you to see, listen, I don't want you to see rules and regulation as designed to limit your freedom or frustrate your happiness. See it as things meant to protect you. After the Nazi regime in Europe and America, the time Hitler killed about 6 million Jews. One of the aftermaths of the Nazi regime in Europe was institution of what is known as International Court of Justice, ICJ. Now, the idea behind ICJ or Nuremberg trial, that was where people who committed crime against humanity were brought and tried. Now, during the trial, many people started criticizing the lawyers and the judges who were prosecuting those who perpetrated Nazi system. They were criticizing them that they are on a mission of vendetta, that the issue has been settled. They should forgive those people and leave them. They should no longer punish them. What are they doing? Now it's like a vendetta between the vanquished and the victorious. Now it is now the victorious who are now punishing the vanquished. And then one judge made a statement, and pay attention to that statement. The man said, mountains of head, human skull, mountains of human skull. That is, after the Nazi regime in Europe, where Hitler killed 6 million Jews, there are places you will come, you will see mountains of human skull. People who were killed, their skull will rise like mountain top, so massive in their millions. And then heaps of golden teeth. People whose teeth were pulled off. And then heaps of people's hair. And the man said, civilization cannot ignore this without bringing a repeat of it in history. Now, if civilization doesn't address this with the seriousness it deserves, that anybody who commits this kind of evil deserves to be punished, then history will repeat itself. Because those who are ignorant of history are bound to repeat the same mistake. And the trial went on. And that's why I always tell you in this school that part of the reasons for punishment when you go contrary to rules and regulation is not just to give you pain. Punishment has two purposes. The first purpose is to give pain to the offender. That you committed offense, I give you serious flogging, and you receive enough pain. Even when I will be flogging you, you'll be saying, Father, this is painful. And I will tell you, yes, it is painful. I'm not giving you ice cream. I'm not giving you pleasure. If I'm giving you pleasure, I will buy ice cream for you. But I'm giving you pain. So turn, it is remaining 6. Yeah. That is the aim of punishment, to give pain to the offender. The second aim of punishment, which is the most important, is deterrence, to discourage future offenders. That is the most important function of punishment. That is why, if you know that somebody who committed examination malpractice will be expelled, you tell yourself, Omo, I have to respect myself. If you know that anybody who bullies or fights in this school will go on suspension, you will tell yourself, I don't want to fight too. I don't want to go on suspension. Let me not fight. In that case, law will now perform its just purpose of protecting every child in this school. So imagine St. Anthony of Padua High School, where there are no rules and regulations. Just imagine it. Here we become a bedlam. Everything goes. But when rules and regulations are made and the consequences are mapped out for anybody who goes contrary to it, we build a civilized community where every child is protected. Law is at the root of civilization. Remove law from the world will go back to dark ages. The Stone Age era, when there are no consequences for action. There was a moving picture I saw in one history book I was reading. It was a Stone Age man who was living in a cave, whose wife refused to sleep with him. And this Stone Age man was so mad that he got his wife, used a heavy stone, smashed her skull, took her back into the cave, and raped her to death. And there are no consequences because that is Stone Age. But do it in the world of today, you will rot in jail. Because there are rules. Civilization has traveled far. If you do it today, you will rot in jail. So what characterized Stone Age era was lawlessness. If we remove law from this school will turn to Stone Age era, where people do things with reckless abandon and get away with it. Do you want our school to degenerate to that era? Do you want it? Since you don't want it, please abide by the rules and regulation. If we say don't bully a junior student, don't do that. If you bully, please submit yourself to punishment. Because that is the only way we can protect civilization. So from time to time, people commit offense and they come to Father, please forgive me. Or they go to Sister Principal, Sister, please forgive me. Stop saying that. If you say, please forgive me, you are telling us, remove consequences for evil. Remove consequences for offense. It's almost like drawing back the hand of clock. It's almost like removing what is sustaining civilization, which is rules and regulation, law. That is it. Do you know there are times in the past when women don't have a voice? Women don't have a voice. A man marries a wife and counts the wife as part of his property. Women are not allowed to vote. There were times when blacks were regarded as subhumans during the era of transatlantic slavery. The black American you hear today, many of them were our forefathers who were sold into slavery during the era of transatlantic slavery. Because the world of that time saw nothing wrong about slave trade. In the big plantations in Europe and America, tobacco plantation, sugar plantation, coffee plantation, our able-bodied African men were shipped there. Those that work in sugarcane plantation their mouths are sealed, so that you can't even chew sugarcane as you walk. They will get a key and close their mouth like this. They will get iron pants and lock up your private part. So you're not going to sleep with any woman, so that all your energy will be concentrated in working in the tobacco farm. And if you don't meet up the target, your hands can be chopped off. They get a machete or axe and chop off your hand and leave you to die. We have left that world and gone too far. That today, if you do that kind of thing, the long arm of the law will get at you. That is the beauty of civilization. So if a Stone Age man should come today and maybe picks up the Universal Charter about man, that Stone Age man will start crying, because that Stone Age man will realize that during his time he went through hell. But today we have rules and regulations that protect every single human being in this world. That is when you will hear that all humans are born free and equal, and they have inalienable rights to life. No man should be enslaved by another. This is the first sentence you will see on the Universal Charter about the dignity of man. But before slavery, you don't have something like this. So my beloved students, anywhere you are, please see to the protection of rules and regulation. And whenever you commit any offense, submit yourself to punishment and don't beg. Please, I want it to start in this school. If you commit any offense, stop begging teachers to forgive you. If you see any student begging a teacher to forgive him because he committed offense, tell that student, please, don't take us back to Stone Age, submit to punishment. Tell that student, don't take us back to Stone Age, submit to punishment. Because that is the only way we can keep our school moving forward.